My name is Robert Cudell. I'm a retired radiologist from Calgary. I'm better known as Bob Cudell.
And I'm Bernadette. I'm Bob's wife and his caretaker.
We've been married 52 years.
We have 3 children, 2 daughters and a son. And we've been fortunate enough every time we come for the treatments, one of our children comes with us to help their dad. So we're lucky.
I was initially diagnosed in 2008. I had to go see a general practitioner because I was having some pain in my shoulder. And he asked me at that time, when was the last time you had a physical? So he did a complete physical on me, and he also said, I'm going to do a rectal examination. I says, go right ahead and do that. So when he did it, he found a lump present within my prostate, and it turned out to be a cancer of the prostate. So then I had a CT scan, and we found out that I had in my pelvis a large mass of approximately 3 to 4 centimeters in diameter, as well as several other abnormal lymph nodes and ill-defined lesions within my lungs. So he says, I have to refer you to the Tom Baker Cancer Center, which I was referred to, and I was referred to Dr. Yip, who's an oncologist, and he says, we got to start you immediately on chemotherapy. So I went on chemotherapy. I had an initial course of 12 treatments without any ill effects at all. And my PSAs did come down a little bit, and then I says, well, let's go for it. So we went on a second course of treatment of 12 courses of chemotherapy. And what had happened is I developed massive eczema under my armpits, under my breasts, and severe changes within my pelvis. So anyway, at the same time, we had decreased the chemotherapy that I was having, but we're not getting any good effects. And at that time, probably it would be around 4 to 5 years ago, Dr. Yip said that there's a new treatment that we could start you on, but you have to go over to Germany, Heidelberg. And this is a radioactive treatment. It's 177 lutetium. So I said, okay. At that point in time, he had just mentioned it, but we didn't do anything about it. We just left it at that.
For me to take him to a different country, I'm not sure that I would do it.
2 or 3 years later, they released it in the United States, in Chicago, and then a year later or so, they released it in Canada. And at that point in time, the treatment could be done in Montreal and also in Burnaby, BC. My first PET scan was on April 4th, 2024. And following that, I had my first lutetium injection.
Because the chemotherapy was causing these terrible sores, he could not continue. Another thing is the lutetium-177 treatments have been much easier on his body, on his total self, than chemo ever was. Even though he's never been the sickest, the throwing up, the whole 9 yards, the chemotherapy, you could see him going down, 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 down. With the lutetium, he is staying healthy.
He suggested, and we decided to go ahead with it, and we contacted Initio here, whether we could have it done here.
So I only know the story from 2.5 years ago when I was pushing him in the wheelchair. But he has come back by leaps and bounds. I believe the PET scan shows the truest picture. I mean, each scan does its job, but the PET scan really shows where this cancer is. How many of your stage 4 dying patients come to you complaining they put on weight? From being in the wheelchair, and I had to do a lot of stuff with him, to back where he looks after himself He can feed himself, he can cook himself, he can bathe himself, he can look after his personal care.
The problem that I see with getting these scans done, there's so many physicians that want to try and get the scans on their patients, and the people that do them are simply being overloaded with the numbers. And
The province doesn't have the number of machines.
Yeah,
I think Alberta has
maybe 2.
3 PET scans,
Yeah.
I think.
So this is the biggest
So you
problem.
waited a good month, over a month for your first PET scan.
Probably, yes.
Month to 2 months, 3 months, yeah. Unfortunately, with most people, when they hear the cost of this, they go, I can't afford it. And that's sad. And I think these treatments with lutetium, although he's getting weaker and stuff, they have kept him at an even keel, and he's made these 2.5 years, and I believe it's due to lutetium.
Yeah.
I do. He's way better than when I was pushing him in the wheelchair 2.5 years ago. And he's still with me, and that's what I say. That's important.
And the people here at Initio, they've been fabulous. I can't praise them enough. And Dr. Cohen, as well as the receptionist and everything, we're almost like family. They're so happy to see us, and we're so happy to see them, and the treatment is tremendous.
Yeah.
On a score of 1 to 10, these people are at 11, 12, 13, and beyond that. I can't be happier.
Like I said, it's like coming to visit family.
Thank you for what you're doing.
Doing what you're doing, because you have a skill that we don't have, that patients need. And you know what? You may not get a thank you today. But you know what? Keep plugging along, because you're on the right route. Thank you for the work you do.